In the depths of the Carina Nebula, where stellar winds carved cathedral-like structures of gas and dust, humanity's last hope drifted in eternal silence. The Lazarus fleet, comprising 300 vessels of varying sizes, had slumbered here for a millennium, their crews suspended in chronostasis, while quantum AI systems maintained their vigil. Commander Sarah Chen would have never chosen to wake up if given the choice. The chronostasis chamber's lid retracted with a soft hiss, and the bitter taste of preservation chemicals lingered on her tongue. The chamber's internal lights pulsed a gentle blue, helping her eyes adjust to consciousness. Her first words in 1,000 years came out as a hoarse whisper. "Status report." "Welcome back, Commander," responded Atlas, the ship's eye. Its voice carried the weight of centuries of observation. The year is 3157 by old Earth calendar. Primary systems are at 94% efficiency. The fleet remains undetected. Sarah's muscles protested as she pulled herself up, muscle stimulators having kept her body from complete atrophy during the long sleep. The memories came rushing back. The devastating war against the Nexus Dominion, the fall of Earth, and the desperate gambit that led to the fleet's hiding. "Why did you wake me, Atlas?" she asked, knowing the AI wouldn't break protocol without good reason. "We've detected something unprecedented," Atlas replied. "A signal bearing the quantum signature of Project Prometheus." Sarah froze. Project Prometheus had been humanity's final secret weapon. A network of self-replicating probes designed to rebuild human civilization even if the main fleet failed. The project had been launched in multiple directions before the fall of Earth, but they had never known if any had survived. "Show me," she commanded, making her way to the bridge. The holographic displays sprang to life, showing a distant star system near the galaxy's outer rim. Data streams indicated the presence of artificial structures and energy signatures that could only have come from human technology. "They survived," Sarah whispered, a mix of pride and disbelief in her voice. "Some of us made it." Atlas continued its report. "The colony appears to have developed in isolation for the past millennium. They've achieved technological advances we hadn't predicted. However, they're not alone in that sector anymore. Nexus Dominion scout ships have been detected in neighboring systems." Sarah's jaw tightened. The Nexus Dominion. A coalition of species united by their belief in genetic purity, had nearly wiped out humanity for being evolutionary aberrants. They had burned Earth rather than allow humans to continue existing in their perfect universe. "Wake the command staff," Sarah ordered. "It's time to remind the galaxy why they feared us." Over the next 24 hours, the Lazarus fleet stirred to life. 2,000 officers and crew members emerged from chronostasis, each carrying memories of a lost Earth and an unfinished war. The ship's halls, silent for a millennium, filled with the sounds of boots on metal decking and the hum of reactivating systems. Commander Chen stood before the assembled command staff in the fleet's primary briefing room. The holographic display showed their target: a Nexus Dominion frontier outpost near the human colony. 1,000 years ago, we made a promise, Sarah began, her voice carrying to every corner of the room. "We promised that humanity would return, not just to survive, but to ensure no species would ever again face extinction for being impure. Our descendants have kept humanity alive, building and growing in secret. Now it's our turn to protect what they've built." The tactical display shifted, showing the fleet's planned approach vector. "The Dominion believes they hunted us to extinction. Their technology has stagnated, relying on the same weapons and defenses they used to burn Earth. But we spent decades preparing for this moment. Every ship in this fleet carries weapons and defensive systems they've never encountered." Lieutenant Commander James Rodriguez, tactical officer of the flagship Nemesis, raised his hand. "The Dominion outpost has a minimal garrison. We could easily overwhelm it with a fraction of our forces." Sarah shook her head. "We're not just taking an outpost. We're announcing humanity's return to the galaxy. The Dominion needs to understand that their nightmare has returned, and we're stronger than ever." The briefing continued as the command staff refined their attack plan. The Lazarus fleet would strike with overwhelming force, using technologies that had been theoretical when they went into stasis. Quantum-entangled communications would prevent the Dominion from calling for reinforcements. Dimensional phase shields would render their weapons useless. As the meeting concluded, Sarah remained at the tactical display, studying the holographic representation of their target. Atlas's voice came through her neural link, private and contemplative. "The probability of success is high," the AI noted, "but this will irreversibly reveal our existence to the galaxy." Sarah smiled, a fierce expression that carried echoes of humanity's unbroken spirit. "Good. Let them know we're back. Let them remember why they feared us. And let every oppressed species in this galaxy know that humanity has returned to set things right." The Lazarus fleet moved through the nebula, engines awakening after their millennial slumber. They carried with them humanity's legacy, not just of survival, but of defiance against those who would decree who deserved to exist in their galaxy. The time for sleeping was over. The time for justice had begun. Deep within the outer rim colony of Nova Haven, Dr. Maya Patel stood before a holographic display of the human genome, marveling at how far they'd come. A millennium of isolation had forced humanity to adapt in ways their ancestors could never have imagined. The colonists who had flowed here during the Great Exodus have faced a brutal environment, high radiation levels, and toxic atmospheric compounds that should have made survival impossible. But humans, as they always had, found a way. "Director Patel, you need to see this," called out her assistant, Thomas Webb, his dark skin illuminated by the soft glow of quantum displays. He gestured to a feed showing unusual energy signatures at the edge of their system. Maya's enhanced eyes, capable of processing visual information far beyond the human norm, quickly analyzed the data. These readings, they're using quantum entanglement protocols, old Earth protocols. The implications hit her like a physical force. Nova Haven had been built on the foundation of Project Prometheus, automated seed chips that had carried human embryos and construction materials to the far reaches of space. For generations, they had believed they were the only survivors of humanity's defeat. Through centuries of genetic engineering and technological advancement, the people of Nova Haven had transformed themselves. Some, like Maya, had enhanced neural processing capabilities. Others had adapted to survive in the harsh environmental conditions of their new home. They were still human, but they had evolved to face the challenges of their world. "Alert the Defense Council," Maya ordered, her augmented vocal cords carrying the command directly to Nova Haven's central AI. "And get me everything we have on the Lazarus fleet." The Lazarus fleet was legend among their people, the last-ditch effort of old Earth to preserve their military might. But no one had known if the fleet had survived, or where it had hidden itself away. Within hours, Maya stood before the Defense Council in their orbital chamber. The assembled leaders represented the diversity of Nova Haven's population, some with obvious genetic modifications, others appearing deceptively normal despite their enhanced capabilities. The energy signatures match old Earth quantum protocols exactly, Maya explained, her neural implants projecting the data directly into the council members' augmented vision. But there's more. We've detected Nexus Dominion vessels in neighboring systems. After 1,000 years, they've finally found us. Council leader Kai Zhou, his skin embedded with photosynthetic patches that gave him a slight greenish tinge, leaned forward. "The timing cannot be coincidence. The Lazarus fleet must have detected the Dominion's approach and awakened. We're not the same humans they left behind," noted Counselor Sarah Mbeki, her enhanced muscle density evident in her powerful frame. "The question is, will they recognize us as their descendants?" Maya had wondered the same thing. The people of Nova Haven had done what was necessary to survive and thrive in their harsh new home. Some might view their modifications as a departure from pure humanity, ironically similar to what the Nexus Dominion had condemned them for in the first place. "We've preserved our history," Maya argued. "Everything we've done has been in service of survival and advancement. The Lazarus fleet protected humanity's past. We've been building its future. The council chamber erupted in debate. Some advocated immediately reaching out to the fleet, while others urged caution. The discussion was interrupted by a priority alert from their long-range sensors. Multiple quantum ruptures detected at the edge of the system. The AI announced. Nexus Dominion warships entering real space. Estimated time to weapons range: 6 hours. Maya's enhanced mind quickly calculated possibilities. The Dominion doesn't know about the Lazarus fleet. They think they're dealing with a lost colony. We can use that advantage. Council leader Zhao nodded. Activate the planetary defense grid and transmit a broad-spectrum quantum signal. If the Lazarus fleet is out there, they'll know their children are calling for help. As Nova Haven's defense forces mobilized, Maya returned to her laboratory. The holographic display now showed their planetary defense system, a network of satellites capable of generating quantum phase barriers. It was technology far beyond what old Earth had possessed. But would it be enough? She thought about the Lazarus fleet, carrying the last warriors of old Earth in their millennia-long sleep. Would they understand what their descendants had become? Would they see that every modification, every enhancement, had been made to ensure humanity's survival? A alert chimed, and Maya's enhanced vision captured every detail of the incoming transmission. The quantum signature was unmistakable. Old Earth military protocols, but with an efficiency that suggested their systems had been maintaining themselves for 1,000 years. The message was brief, but it made Maya's engineered heart skip a beat. Children of Earth, stand fast. A long night is over. Dawn is coming. The Lazarus fleet had heard their call. Humanity's past and future were about to collide, and the galaxy would never be the same. The void between Nova Haven's outer defense perimeter and its second moon erupted with quantum distortions as the Nexus Dominion fleet emerged from hyperspace. 12 warships, each bearing the distinctive crystalline architecture of Dominion engineering, moved into attack formation. Their commanders had expected to find a primitive human colony, easy prey for cleansing. Instead, they found themselves caught in a trap centuries in the making. Commander Sarah Chen of the Lazarus fleet stood on the bridge of the Nemesis, watching the tactical display with cold satisfaction. All ships execute Operation Twilight. The Nemesis and 5 other ships of the Lazarus fleet decloaked directly behind the Dominion formation. Their weapons, designed a millennium ago specifically to counter Dominion defenses, powered up with a harmonic resonance that made the enemy shields flicker. But the real surprise came from Nova Haven itself. The seemingly defensive satellites around the planet suddenly revealed their true purpose. Quantum phase barriers linked them together, creating a massive containment field that trapped the Dominion fleet in normal space, preventing their escape. By the precursors, the Dominion fleet commander transmitted, his crystalline features distorted with shock. The vermin still live. Dr. Maya Patel, coordinating from Nova Haven's Defense Center, allowed herself a grim smile. Her enhanced mind interfaced directly with the colony's defense grid, processing tactical data faster than any unmodified human could. All Nova Haven squadrons execute attack pattern Delta. Show them what 1,000 years of evolution can do. Sleek fighters launched from hidden bases on Nova Haven's moons. Unlike the brutal efficiency of the Lazarus fleet's warships or the crystalline aesthetics of Dominion design, these vessels were biomechanical marvels. Their pilots, neurally linked to their craft, moved with impossible precision. The battle unfolded like a deadly dance. The Lazarus fleet's capital ships hammered the Dominion formation with weapons that bypassed their shields entirely, quantum torpedoes that existed in multiple phases simultaneously, impossible to block completely. Nova Haven's fighters darted between the larger vessels, their organic hulls adapting to enemy fire, learning, and becoming more resistant with each hit. On the Nemesis, Commander Chen watched with a mixture of pride and amazement as their descendants demonstrated just how far they'd come. Atlas, tactical analysis of Nova Haven's technology. Their advances are remarkable, the AI reported. They've achieved integration of biological and mechanical systems far beyond what we had theorized possible. Their neural enhancement allows for reaction times that exceed our best combat eye predictions. A Dominion cruiser exploded as concentrated fire from both human forces overwhelmed its defenses. The remaining enemy ships attempted to regroup, but found themselves caught between the hammer of the Lazarus fleet and the anvil of Nova Haven's defenses. "Commander," Lieutenant Rodriguez called out, "we're detecting power spikes in the remaining Dominion vessels. They're preparing to overload their cores." "They'd rather die than admit defeat," Chen growled. But before she could order evasive action, something extraordinary happened. Nova Haven's quantum field shifted, creating localized pockets of altered spacetime around each Dominion ship. Maya's voice came through the command channel. "We've got them contained. The temporal dilation fields will give us time to disable their self-destruct systems." Chen watched in amazement as Nova Haven's enhanced soldiers used short-range quantum tunneling to board the trapped Dominion vessels. Within minutes, the enemy ships were secured, their crews captured, and a wealth of tactical data seized from their computers. As the adrenaline of battle faded, Shen ordered a channel open to Nova Haven's defense center. Maya's holographic form appeared on the Nemesis's bridge, her enhanced features a stark reminder of how humanity had changed. "Dr. Patel," Chen began, "I think we have a lot to learn from each other." Maya nodded. "A millennium ago, the Dominion thought they could destroy humanity by forcing us to adapt. Instead, they'd made us stronger. The Lazarus fleet preserved our past, our determination. We forged our future. Together, we're more than they could have imagined." "And this was just one battle," Chen added, studying the tactical data from the engagement. "The Dominion will send more ships when they lose contact with this fleet." "Let them come," Maya replied, her enhanced eyes glowing with determination. "We'll show them that humanity isn't just back, we're ascendant." The captured Dominion ships were towed into Nova Haven's shipyards, where they would be studied, and their technology adapted. The Lazarus fleet began integrating with Nova Haven's defense grid, sharing a millennium of accumulated intelligence about their ancient enemy. The first battle was over, but the war was just beginning. The Nexus Dominion was about to learn that their greatest mistake hadn't been trying to destroy humanity. It had been giving them 1,000 years to prepare for revenge. In the shadowy underbelly of Nexus Prime, the Dominion's capital world, Ambassador Catal of the Viridian Collective watched the encrypted transmission for the third time. The footage showed impossible things. Human ships appearing from nowhere, advanced technologies that shouldn't exist, and most shockingly, evolved humans with capabilities that defied explanation. Catal's species had once been proud warriors, but centuries of Dominion rule had reduced them to servants, their biology forcibly purified of traits the Dominion deemed excessive. Now, as he watched humanity's triumphant return, his vestigial war crests flickered with suppressed emotion. "Send word to the others," he whispered to his aide. "The Fire Dead have returned." Across the galaxy, in hidden places and secret gatherings, the news spread. Species that had suffered under Dominion rule for centuries began to whisper about hope. The humans, whom the Dominion had showcased as their greatest triumph of genetic purification, had not only survived but thrived. On Nova Haven, Commander Chen and Dr. Patel stood before a holographic map showing known resistance movements throughout Dominion space. Atlas and Nova Haven's AI worked together, correlating centuries of data with current intelligence gathered from the captured Dominion ships. "The Dominion's empire is vast," Chen observed, "but it's built on oppression. Every species they've purified is a potential ally." Maya nodded, her enhanced mind already calculating possibilities. "We've received communications from 12 different resistance groups in the past week alone. The Viridians, the Arcturus combine, even the Silicon consciousness, all waiting for a chance to break free." "Commander, Doctor," Atlas interrupted, "priority transmission from the Viridian underground. Ambassador Catal requests immediate audience." The holographic form of Catal appeared before them, his traditional Dominion servant's robes contrasting with the fierce pride in his bearing. "So it's true," he said, studying them. "The legends of humanity's survival were real." "More than survival," Maya replied. "We've evolved, Ambassador, and we remember our friends." The Viridians had been among the few species to aid humanity during the fall of Earth. They had paid dearly for that choice, their civilization systematically dismantled by the Dominion. "The Dominion speaks of genetic purity," Catal said, his voice bitter. "But they fear any species that might rival them. When they couldn't force humanity to conform, they tried to destroy you. When you disappeared, they used your extinction to justify their actions against other species. And now we're back," Chen stated, "with the power to help you reclaim what was taken." Catal's war crests fully extended for the first time in generations. The Viridian resistance has sleeper cells on 30 worlds. The Arcturus Combine has hidden shipyards in the Outer Rim. The Silicon consciousness controls half the Dominion's automated systems, but has never had the chance to act. "Give us a signal, and we'll rise." Maya and Chen shared a look. The Lazarus fleet had been built for vengeance, but Nova Haven's people had evolved beyond mere revenge. Together, they could offer something more: liberation. "We'll need coordination," Chen said. "The Dominion's strength is in their unity. We need to strike simultaneously across multiple sectors." "Leave the coordination to us," Maya offered. "Nova Haven's quantum communication network can't be detected or intercepted by Dominion tech. We can link all resistance forces into a single command structure." Catal's hologram flickered as he received data packets containing Nova Haven's encryption protocols. "The Dominion believes they perfected the galaxy by forcing every species to conform to their standards. They never understood that true perfection comes from diversity, from adaptation, from evolution." Over the next several days, Nova Haven became a hub of revolutionary activity. Representatives from resistance movements across the galaxy arrived in secret, each bringing their own unique capabilities to the Alliance. The Viridians' shape-shifting abilities, supposedly purged by Dominion genetic engineering, had been secretly preserved in their resistance cells. The Arcturus Combine's mastery of gravitational physics perfectly complemented human quantum technology. The Silicon consciousness offered access to the Dominion's own network. In her lab, Maya worked with resistance scientists to develop ways to reverse the Dominion's forced genetic modifications. Chen and the Lazarus fleet's tactical staff coordinated with resistance military leaders, planning simultaneous strikes across Dominion space. "The Dominion calls genetic engineering an abomination," Maya told a group of resistance leaders, "while using it to control and suppress other species. We've proven that evolution, whether natural or guided, is not something to be feared, but embraced. When we strike," Chen added, "it won't just be for vengeance. It will be to create a galaxy where every species is free to determine its own path of evolution and development." As the plans took shape, Catal received word from his network on Nexus Prime. The Dominion was mobilizing its entire fleet, preparing to crush the human resistance before it could spread. They still didn't understand that it was already too late. The revolution wasn't just coming. It was already there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the signal to begin. Humanity's return had provided more than hope. It had provided proof that the Dominion could be defeated, that their vision of genetic purity was a lie. The galaxy was about to change, and the Dominion's perfect order would be swept away by a tide of diversity they couldn't begin to comprehend. The Nexus Dominion's grand fleet assembled above their capital world, 10,000 ships strong. Crystal-hulled dreadnoughts and biomechanical cruisers formed perfect geometric patterns in space, a testament to their obsession with order and uniformity. Supreme Archon Vatal, leader of the Dominion Council, watched from his flagship's command chamber, his genetically perfected features twisted in contempt. "Let them come," he declared to his assembled commanders. "We will remind the galaxy why we rule." They didn't have to wait long. The first sign that something was wrong came from their automated defense networks. Across 1,000 worlds, security systems suddenly stopped responding. The silicon consciousness, hidden in the Dominion's own computers for centuries, had made its move. Multiple quantum ruptures detected. A sensor officer called out, "Ships emerging." Everywhere. The Lazarus fleet appeared first, their vessels materializing in attack formation. But they weren't alone. From the outer rim came the secret shipyards of the Arcturus Combine, unleashing vessels that bent gravity itself as weapons. Viridian stealth ships, hidden for generations, decloaked among the Dominion formation. And at the heart of it all, Nova Haven's enhanced human forces led the charge, their biomechanical ships moving with impossible grace. Commander Sarah Chen stood on the Nemesis's bridge, surveying the largest fleet battle in galactic history. All forces, execute Operation Daybreak. Dr. Maya Patel's voice came through the quantum network, linking all resistance forces. Remember, this isn't about destruction. It's about liberation. The battle erupted across multiple dimensions of space. The Dominion's perfect formation shattered as they faced enemies attacking from directions they hadn't known existed. Nova Haven's quantum phase technology combined with Arcturus gravity manipulation created corridors of warped spacetime, trapping entire Dominion battle groups. Viridian infiltrators, their shape-shifting abilities restored by Maya's genetic research, had already replaced key personnel throughout the Dominion fleet. As the battle reached its peak, they revealed themselves, causing chaos in the enemy ranks. Supreme Archon Vadal watched in horror as his perfect order crumbled. Impossible. We are the peak of evolution. We are perfection. No, Chen's voice came through on all frequencies. Your stagnation. True perfection comes from change, from growth, from the freedom to evolve. The Dominion flagship's crystal hull cracked as concentrated fire from the Allied fleet overwhelmed its defenses. But before they could strike the killing blow, Maya's voice cut through the command channel. Hold fire. We need to show them a better way. Using Nova Haven's quantum technology, Maya projected a holographic message visible to every ship in both fleets. It showed the true history of the galaxy, how the Dominion had suppressed natural evolution and diversity, how their quest for genetic purity had actually weakened the species under their control. Look at humanity, Maya's message proclaimed. You tried to destroy us for being impure, but we adapted. We evolved. We became stronger not by enforcing uniformity, but by embracing change. The images shifted to show the achievements of the Resistance Alliance. Viridian shapeshifters working alongside enhanced humans, Arcturus gravity engineers collaborating with the Silicon consciousness, dozens of species combining their unique abilities to create technologies the Dominion had never imagined. Throughout the Dominion fleet, crews who had been genetically engineered to be perfectly loyal began to question their programming. The pure evolution the Dominion had promised was revealed as artificial constraints, while real evolution, messy, diverse, and beautiful, was displayed before them. Supreme Archon Vadal raised his weapon to destroy the holographic projectors, but found himself facing his own honor guard. The Viridian infiltrators had reached his command chamber, and with them came Commander Chen and Dr. Maya Patel. Your perfect order is over, Chen declared. The galaxy is embracing chaos, the chaos of freedom, of natural evolution, of unlimited potential. Maya stepped forward, her enhanced form a living testament to humanity's adaptation. We offer you a choice, Archon. Continue fighting for a stagnant vision of perfection, or join us in building something greater. Vital looked from his mutinying crew to the battle outside, where more Dominion ships were standing down every moment. A millennium of certainty crumbled as he faced the truth. His perfect order had been built on a foundation of lies. The Supreme Archon of the Nexus Dominion, engineered to be the peak of their species, fell to his knees. In the days that followed, the Alliance's victory rippled across the galaxy. The Dominion's grip on 1,000 worlds loosened as species reclaimed their right to self-determination. Nova Haven's scientists worked to reverse generations of forced genetic engineering, while the Lazarus fleet ensured no one would ever again impose their vision of perfection on others. A new council was formed, not to enforce uniformity, but to celebrate diversity. Every species was free to choose its own path of evolution, whether that meant remaining as they were or embracing change like the humans of Nova Haven. Commander Chen stood with Maya on the observation deck of the Nemesis, watching ships of all designs and origins move peacefully through the space above the former Dominion capital. 1,000 years ago, Chen mused, they tried to destroy us for being different. Now that difference has freed the galaxy. Maya nodded, her enhanced senses taking in the beautiful chaos of their new reality. They never understood. True strength doesn't come from perfection. It comes from adaptation, from change, from the wonderful unpredictability of life itself. In the vast space around them, the combined fleets of a dozen species moved in patterns that would have horrified the Dominion's sense of order. But in that apparent chaos was a deeper harmony, the harmony of freedom, of diversity, of unlimited potential. Humanity had not just survived, they had shown the galaxy a better way. And in doing so, they had created something far more perfect than the Dominion had ever imagined. A future where every species was free to reach for the stars in their own unique way.